Are you curious how you'll recognize your soulmate when you meet them? Or looking for some confirmation or synchronicities that the person on your mind might actually be your soulmate? In today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to see what stands out about your soulmate when you meet them immediately, how you feel around them, what makes this connection different, and so much more. This reading will have an extended, which will be available separately. You'll get all of the readings in their entirety. So those of you who like what you hear in the main reading, there will be more available separately. And in the extended, we're going to see how the relationship begins. We're going to explore the attraction and the chemistry. We're going to use some adult themes in our cards there. So that's for 18 plus only. We're going to see how they show love in their relationship needs and so much more. In this main reading, I'm doing something a little bit different, and I hope you guys like it. Definitely give me feedback. We are going to do initials, and we're going to see what shows up regarding locations and physical traits, actually. So we're going to see maybe what their name might be. If it shows up for you, that could be a confirmation, and location information, physical traits, and things like that. So I thought that would be kind of fun for you guys. Those of you who find yourself drawn to me during the course of this reading, feel free to book me. The info is in the description box. I'm looking forward to getting into this, so let's dive into it now. Welcome in. We're going to see what's going on with your soulmate. Those of you who have already met someone that you suspect is your soulmate, hopefully this reading will give you confirmation. Others of you who haven't met them yet, let's get into it and describe them, okay? What stands out about Group 1 soulmate? Show me what stands out about Group 1 soulmate. What stands out about them? What stands out about them? Okay. Those of you who find yourself drawn to me during the course of this reading, feel free to book me. Info in the description. What stands out about the soulmate of Group 1 instantly? So this person could be a foreigner to you. And good news is, later on in the reading, I'm actually going to have locations. So we might be able to figure that out together, okay? This person could be foreign born to you, very intellectual, or someone very well traveled. They could have spent time on ships, okay? You might find this person mysterious. They could be very well read or intellectual, and you could suspect that, or you could suspect that still waters run very, very deep with this person. Okay, so they're a little bit mysterious, a little harder to read, but not in a bad way, obviously. You're actually quite drawn to them. All right, and this person could seem stable or wealthy. Okay, this person's kind of giving Mr. Darcy vibes a little bit. Okay, this person could be someone of means and wealth, but you might not be exactly sure what their full story is, and you might kind of want to figure them out while you're talking to them. What stands out about this person immediately as well is you could sense that there's something new and different in the spark that you feel with this person. Again, as I said, you could suspect that still waters run very deep. You will feel an emotional connection towards them, but you'll also be more physically attracted to them. They will either be your exact physical type, or they will just be extremely attractive. And you're like, what? You're going to find this person beautiful if you like beauty, or very striking and physically attractive. All right. You're going to sense that this person is a leap in a new direction for you, or you're going to want to leap towards them for real, for real. Okay. You're going to feel like they're different somehow. In fact, you'll probably feel like this person is a one of a kind. Very much so. Again, world traveler or foreigner is actually coming up, because at the bottom of the deck, we do have the world. And this person could be one who takes initiative. They could actually be a Leo, but they could also have fire sign energy, water sign energy, sun, moon, rising, or Venus, okay? This person could have started over in their life as well when you meet them, and you suspect that they have more stories. So like you could find out relatively quickly that this person has had like a rebrand or a respawn in their life. Like maybe they relocated to a different country and started over. Got out of a long-term relationship, such as a divorce, and started over. Got in and out of one career. Now they started over. Doesn't mean they're not established now, but you may find out that they had a big ending in their life, and that they had the courage to leap in a whole new direction or start in a whole new country. Or this person is somebody who can respawn, renew, and pivot in their life, okay? How you feel around them. How does group 1 feel around their soulmate? How do they feel around this person? Like you could conquer the freaking world, okay? How do you feel? Okay, let me just get my bearings. I want to make sure I get everything. This person could turn your world upside down or turn your perspective upside down, okay? How you feel around them. It's like time stands still or slows down in some way, okay? You can find yourself, so a lot of the time, 9 of Swords will indicate like sleepless nights or staying up late. You could obviously spend your time thinking about this person a lot late at night or early in the morning, and you could see their image and replay conversations and things like that. But also in this context, I feel that it could, how you feel around them, that you want to communicate a lot, and the communication could go very quickly between the two of you, like back and forth. So you could actually find this person rather interesting. Like whatever they throw at you intellectually or verbally, you can catch it and throw it back with the 6 of Pentacles. Like it feels kind of balanced. I think this person has a magnetic attraction, so you're going to find them very, like you're going to feel kind of excited by their presence, okay? It's interesting because if the time is like slowing down around them, you're talking so much, but time like slows down and expands. They make you see things differently. This person could have a very grounded aura. They could have children from a previous relationship, or they could have run an empire, or they could have had like a big important job, or they could just be someone who's really a shot caller and in charge of their life, like big boss vibes here, okay? And you feel like this person can take care of business, to be honest with you. Like you feel like this person is someone who is matured, seasoned, or who knows how to handle life and the details of being human. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like this person is someone that you're going to have to drag through life. You don't feel like they're a wet blanket, because like even though they're a very responsible person, this person has magnetism nevertheless, okay? They can work hard, play hard, or they know how to have fun at the very least, all right? This person could also surprise you by being a slow mover, not in a bad way. Not that they can recognize what's for them, but they could also possibly be quite intentional about incorporating the dynamic into reality, okay? So this is not someone who's gonna rush in and be careless towards you. They can be quite analytical, by the way. Quite analytical. All right, so let's see what's going on here. What makes this connection different? What makes this connection different from others, so that group 1 can recognize? What makes this connection different? This is a family-oriented person. This is a success-oriented person, okay? This person cares about taking care of their family. They care about, if they're going to invest in a relationship with you, it's because they see you as long-term potential. That you will be family that they add into their life on purpose, okay? The other thing that makes this connection feel different is they're going to make you feel extremely attractive and magnetic. They're going to not have any qualms about making you feel like you're exactly their type, by the way. The emotional connection is looking very good, as well as the long-term potential, okay? A sense of destiny and divine timing might have something to do with this connection as well. And you could feel like things have to align just right, because you can sense that this one means more. I mean, 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles, are you kidding me? You may have been single for a while, or you've been building and establishing yourself in such a way so that you didn't have to get ready, so that you could just stay ready for the right thing. So some of you could have been building for a while on your own, building yourself to be available to the right thing when it comes, and not taking any bum offers, and here we are. Okay, this person could represent a big W, a win from the universe, that the wheel is turning in your favor fucking finally. You know what I mean? For those of you who have gone through it, you're like, oh my God, where is my soulmate? Group 1, yeah, it's a big win. Okay, and it feels that way with the victory card. Okay, let's see. Signs that this relationship is important. Signs that will let you know that this relationship is actually important. How will group 1 know? Signs that this relationship is important. Some of you could meet them at your spiritual center, or you could find that they have a spirituality that actually complements your belief systems. Or they could have values that align with yours. They could be someone who would never talk about you and your private relationship, so this person can hold secrets, not in a necessarily secretive way. They have respect for boundaries and they have respect for relationships. So this is not somebody who's going to tell everybody about y'all's private life, okay? There's an innocence and a sweetness within this relationship. This person's not going to make you feel weird or awkward or uncomfortable, all right? This person's going to protect the integrity and the value within your private life together, but there's also going to be a sweetness and an innocence and a purity to how easy it is to get together. Okay, this person's not, I mean, timing, we said divine timing has something at hand, right? But it's not a heavy, hard thing. Like, you instantly feel happy, like a smile from deep within when you're with this person. There's a sweetness to it that's almost nostalgic, okay? Yeah, it's like a nostalgic sweetness, something that feels familiar, all right? Signs that this relationship is actually important. Signs that this relationship is important. Okay, so those of you who have struggled with feelings of alienation, being separated and feeling like you don't belong anywhere, this person's going to actually represent a sense of belonging to you. Okay? A sense of, a sense of like finding someone who is of a similar mind or similar values, or something complementary, if not exactly the same, okay? Where the two of you could actually blend your perspectives and your ideas in a way that is harmonious, where the two of you are greater than the sum of your parts. Some of you may have spent relationships that made you feel like you were all stuck in your head over analyzing things, and you felt trapped because you were dealing with people who were very confusing. Signs that this relationship is important is that this person does not confuse you. You feel good in their energy. You feel safe in their energy. You would like leave your inner child around this person because you know that they're not like some kind of weirdo that's going to hurt you. Okay, this is not the kind of person who's going to hurt your feelings to make you feel better, or to make them feel better. Rather, it's someone who will handle you appropriately, maturely. Okay. Again, to me, this person really is screaming foreign born to you, or a world traveler, someone who understands different perspectives and who will value the things about the two of you which are different. Another sign that this is, a significant relationship is that when you're communicating with each other, it keeps sparking. So it's not like either one of you are performing or trying too hard to keep the relationship or the conversation or the moment going. It just naturally happens, okay? I'm already going to tell you, even though we're going to look at traits later, that you or this person could look younger than your years. If you're someone who's frequently told that you look younger than your age, actually your soulmate does too, okay? That could be something pretty funny. When you meet them, you might think that they're too young for you, even though you look much younger than your age. You could be surprised. You're like, oh, okay. This person is also somebody, as I said before, who has started over in life several times. So they have like a bit of a magician energy to them. Like they know how to make it work no matter what life throws at them. And it's nice because you're not going to feel like you have to carry this person to the finish line. Okay. Now we're going to do the fun part and we're going to see some of their traits. And I feel like I'm going to pull them for you like right here, but then I'll probably flip them over off camera so you don't have to like waste your life force with me fumble fingers. Okay. We're going to get some initials. Okay. And just to let you know, the letter M, I only have one letter M, by the way. All right, let's get some locations. Oh my God, that's so many. You can't have all of them, sorry. And then qualities. And we're going to look at qualities. And we're going to put this over here. Okay, give me a second, I'll flip these. All right, group one. So we have the reveal here. Your soulmate could be from a number of different places. You can always screen grab this and look it over yourself. Quickly speaking, this person actually did show up as having a youthful face, distinctive features like high cheekbones, strong chin, pointed chin, contacts, birthmark. Those of you who like tattoos, this person could be tattooed, including on their neck or chest. This person does have a very pleasing face. It would be like more symmetrical. They have a range, there's a range of different skin tones here, okay, from deep skin to fair skin, actually. All right, this person is on the slim side, I would say. Has neat hair, okay. Narrow chest is showing up, lean build. I would say this person probably, and also large build showed up, okay. So this person could even have something like they could, even if they're on the slim side, they have, I think, a strength to them is how I would describe this person, okay? This person could be from a variety of places, just some that are popping out to me: Phuket, Lebanon, Toronto, Denmark, Santiago, Kyoto. Actually, Japan showed up just generally. Paris, Salem, Hong Kong, okay? Here's the thing, these can also be names where it's valid, okay? So some of these could confirm their first or last name. All right, so let's get some more real quick. All right, so any more traits? We're gonna get 8 of these cards, 4 from this, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Let's see what shows up. 1, 2. This person could be very wise. Okay, they could actually be older than you, but just look young. Okay, this person could be someone who's very, very helpful, has either received help in their life or given help, okay? Or received help and is now a giver and a helping hand themselves. Cracked cup. This is someone who's overcome disappointments, okay? They've overcome disappointments in a big way, where they didn't get help and they were not dealing with people who were sincere. This could have been related to older relatives, by the way. You're going to perceive this person to be very, very wise. They could also be affiliated to owls in some way. This person you could meet while you are on vacation, or they might want to take a trip with you, okay? This person is guaranteed for success. Aquarius could be aspected here. You could be an Aquarius or they could be an Aquarius. Either one of you could have star power as well. This is somebody who is burning with life, okay? This person is alive, all right? And in addition, some of the names of these cards, in my intention, was letters of their name potentially as well, because I don't have a ton of variety in my tiles, okay? So you can look at some of these letters as well, and it can also even mean meanings, all right? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna see where and how you might meet. So let me pause this again and clean up because this is a hot mess. Okay, let's see where and how you might meet. Give me some location ideas, please. Where and how group 1 might meet their soulmate. You could meet at someone else's wedding or a location where weddings take place. You could meet them on a cruise or while you are traveling, okay? Or through friends at a party or people that you would celebrate with, okay? Some of you could meet this person after you receive an honor of some sort, or this person could be visiting because they're gonna receive an award, or you can meet them when you're traveling to receive some sort of award or recognition. You could meet this person after facing a downward turn in your finances as well, either while you're currently in it or after you've climbed out of it, okay? If that applies, only if that applies. How or where you might meet. If you relocate for a job as well, or if they relocate to work with you. How or where might these two meet? How or where might group 1 meet their soulmate? Work is heavily aspected here, whether it's an actual job or creative gig work, okay? Or possibly a place where you go learn and you're working very diligently, okay? It could also be a place where you're learning how to harness your next evolution, whether that is like harnessing your spiritual energy, your education, your knowledge, your material growth, okay? When you're in magician energy, when you are actually like focusing on creating a path forward and leveraging your skills and talents. Others of you will meet this person through a social network, through your community, or a friend of a friend, okay? Some of you might come across this person on social media and your friends of friends people, and you might strategically try to orient towards your soulmate because you want to meet them in person. Some of you might be a little bit strategic in the meeting of your soulmate, and you're like, at first you don't really think anything of it, but you want to meet them, and then when you meet them, you're like, oh crap, that's why. Like you feel something very unique and different about this person, okay? Others of you, you could meet this person after you're learning a new skill with the purpose of expanding your life. You're being strategic about growing an area of your life, and you can meet your soulmate as a result. You didn't even think of it that way because you're trying to grow in a specific direction. So finding somebody might not even be on your priorities list. So it could be like you going to develop yourself through community, dancing, celebration, learning to sing, learning an instrument. And you're like, I'm just going out and having fun. And for some of you, you could actually, you're like not even prioritizing love, romance, or meeting people other than just casual, like being friendly. And you can meet your soulmate that way as well. So it could be when you're like developing your talents in any direction, whether professionally, socially, or just for your emotional well-being, okay? All right, so I'd love to know how this reading resonated for you. Did you already meet this person? I would love to know. Also, the places, I'm so sorry I forgot to mention it. The countries that I mentioned, that can also be places that your soulmate has lived or their ancestry, okay? So that could also be a clue, all right? Those of you who would like a personal, feel free to book me. I am going to jump into the extended. So those of you who want to continue this journey with your soulmate, we're going to see how this relationship is actually going to begin. The attraction and chemistry. Now this reading is going to be 18 plus. The cards are a little spicy, y'all, okay? Your person's relationship needs and so much more, okay? So I'm going to hop into that right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Welcome into your reading. We're going to see how you're going to recognize your soulmate when you meet them. And for those of you who have already met someone and you suspect they're your soulmate, this could give you confirmation. So let's dive into it. We're going to see what stands out about your soulmate immediately. Okay, so show me what stands out about the soulmate of group 2 immediately. What stands out immediately about the soulmate of group 2? You can meet this person when you are expanding, okay? Expanding through your life, or you feel like your life is full of possibility, by the way. Okay. This person may seem mysterious to you, actually, all right? You could feel like they're in the flow of life, that they're moving forward, you're moving forward, but you could find that there's like a mystery to them, or they're just not a fully open book yet. And you can't tell at first, like whether they're being strategically quiet or strategically mysterious, or if it's just how they are, okay? For some of you, you might also feel like this person is family oriented. You could see that they could be very well read or very educated as well, okay? This person could be a traveler also. They could have lived at a distance at one point. Like they could have lived in a different country, not necessarily from a different country, but they could have lived in a different country. Or you can meet them while you're traveling. What stands out about this person immediately? What stands out about this person to group 2? What stands out about this person to group 2? This person does actually have a straight up mysterious aura to you. They could have a darker fashion aesthetic than the other people in the environment where you meet them, or than what you're used to. This person could really like the color black or very dark colors, for example. You feel, okay, so here's the thing. When you're around them, you almost feel drunk off of their energy. You feel happy about them, but you can't quite figure out why. So what you notice about this person is that they seem mysterious, but they also really get your intuition going. Like there's something that you actually want to crack. You don't just take this person's energy for granted, okay? You might find yourself thinking about them, circling thoughts about them, but not in an anxious way, not in an anxious way, okay? Because this person makes you happy. They seem like a happy person and they make you happy. This person could feel like a totally different experience to you, however, okay? This person might not seem like the type of people that you usually meet, or they might seem like an anomaly to the environment where you meet them. You might get the sense that this person has overcome a lot in their life and that they have transformed pain into happiness somehow, or that they didn't allow themselves to be defeated. Those of you who date masculines, you might find that this masculine is super intuitive and maybe even heart-centered in a way that you find refreshing. Okay, this person could be a Scorpio, by the way, with that death card. They could also be a Pisces or a Cancer, was what I was getting earlier. Okay, so like the thing is, you'll want to move towards this person quite fast. And you might feel that they're very drawn to you. But what you'll notice is like time could dilate around this person and things could slow down around this person. And in the beginning with this person, the connection may be more intuitive and not, okay, it's like these are almost opposite, okay? This is like thoughts and communication and even trying to close the distance, rushing forward, right? And this is slow down. It could be like being at a crossroads, but it's like seeing things differently. So this relationship, what stands out about them, they could get you thinking about things in a different way, using your intuition in a different way. You can feel a mutual pull towards one another, but it's almost like neither one of you can move super duper fast toward each other. So it's like you want to move towards each other and you can feel it, and then maybe you question yourself. So this is more of an intuitive group 2. If this is your reading, the thing that stands out about this person is you feel them so strongly in the intuition in a way you've never felt anyone else. And for some of you, they could lead to like your own spiritual awakening, this person. And neither one of you are gonna be able to rush too fast towards one another. It's like you both kind of have to take your time to see each other in different ways before you can gel the relationship, okay? Let's see how you feel around this person. How does group 2 feel around their soulmate? How do they feel around their soulmate? How do they feel? See, you want to rush towards this person. You get a sense that you meet this person and life is going to start picking up. There's a sense of almost like destiny or movement or wanting to go towards this person, of like trusting your logic and your intuition and your mind and your heart. Okay, how you feel around this person? Like this person represents a whole new beginning with this Fool card. Okay, how you feel around them though? When it doesn't move fast enough, sometimes you might be a little bit sad about it. Like if it doesn't move as quickly as you want. But the thing is, both of you could be very intense, or they are very intense, okay? They could be very intense and mysterious. And so like this person might not be like a super fast mover until they get clarity, okay? Because they trust their intuition too. You're an intuitive that found an intuitive, okay? So the text messages might not, okay, like with the 8 of Rods, that could be like really rapid communication. So at first you guys could be communicating, but then you might be like, why didn't they fucking ask me out yet? Because it has to align for you guys to leap in a new direction together. Okay, how you feel around them. There is romantic attraction instantly, and it is actually mutual. Okay, it is mutual. You could speak different mother tongues to each other, different native language, blending different perspectives. And it might take you a little bit to understand their particular sense of humor or their particular way of communicating. But you can feel their energy is loving towards you, irrespective of that. Okay, you can feel them. Some of y'all might even like gaslight yourself. Does this person like me as much as I think? And the answer to that is yes. But this person doesn't want to just rush towards you because they see you as special. That's the thing. This person's seen enough in life, beginnings and endings, or transformations, or disappointments, or confusion. This person's not going to just rush towards you and fuck it up, to be honest with you. Okay? I just don't think so. I think when this person moves, they move. Mind and heart, and they freaking go, okay? But they don't just rush things for no reason. All right, you don't have a hasty soulmate on your hands. What makes this connection different? What makes this connection different? makes this connection different? You might meet this person after having had a period of being breadcrumbed or finding that your life just doesn't align with other people very well. Okay. I'm going to be very straightforward with what I'm getting off of these cards as I touch them. What makes this different is this person actually excites and expands you. This person could be a world traveler, a foreigner, someone who's run businesses, a shot caller, someone exciting. Just somebody that you feel actually is like lights your fire, causes you to see things in a different way. And you could be somebody that is used to making other people see things in a different way. And you've kind of met your match here with this particular soulmate. This person represents a total leap in a new direction of seeing things in a completely different way. Okay, of blending very different potential lifestyles or cultural backgrounds or different types of schedules. And you could basically themes of putting things together, equal give and take, balancing stuff out, being comfortable with slowness, being comfortable with the unknown, trusting your intuition. Divine timing simply may be a factor in this dynamic because you could meet them after they are leaping in a new direction or after you are leaping in a new direction. And both of you represent kind of like big boss shot caller energy. All right. And they could go back and forth about how they should approach you just as much as you might go back and forth about how to approach them. Okay? The two of you could have very busy, integrated lives, and trying to figure out how to blend your shit harmoniously and how to get on the same page could be something that is challenging, especially if the two of you are relying on your intuition the whole time. And I'm just going to be for real, that is kind of what I'm getting, that you both provoke each other's intuitive, like, you both have to feel your way towards each other, okay? Yeah. This is interesting energy. I like it, though. Let's see how you're going to know that this relationship is different and important. How is group 2 going to know that this... Lord have mercy. Okay, if you don't stop, I swear to God. How are you going to know this relationship is different and important? Oh, my goodness. How are you going to know this relationship is different and important? How are you going to know this relationship is different? Some of you have dealt with very calculating, strategic people who put burdens on your back. This person has star power, you have star power, and you give each other hope, by the way. There is really, I'm sticking with my intuitive energy off of this. There's an equal match here. Both of you are impressive on your own. And neither one of you are bringing kid stuff vibes to this shit. Like, you both are almost like off-duty celebrity vibe with that King of Rods from earlier. Like, I'm just going to say what I say, all right? Both of y'all are like big shots in your own way. Even if you don't see yourself that way, people don't respond to you normally. They act like you're impressive and important, and your soulmate is exactly the same way. So neither one of you have ever seen somebody who is a match to you before. And there's like this almost like, what is happening here? Like, this person really mirrors all of your best qualities back to you and the other way around, okay? And you're both very impressed with each other. So you feel like you could spend a lot of time talking to this person in a heartfelt way. And you could feel like when you're in their energy, some of the things that you're managing or even micromanaging and all of this analysis, like, when you're in their energy, you don't feel that. You feel hopeful and you feel inspired. Now, when you're separate, you might be evaluating a lot about this person and trying to trust your intuition and stuff. But when you are actually like in their energy, it feels as comfortable as if you were talking to your best friend over coffee about your life. Like, you feel physically like safe, emotionally safe with this person. okay? And you don't feel all of the burdens that have been on your back for the whole week before you saw them, or whatsoever it is, okay? This person gives you hope, and they inspire you, and you could inspire them. You might even be their muse, okay, with that star card. Signs that this relationship is important. Signs that this relationship is important. You're definitely going to be more attracted to them than you are to most people. Or you're just going to feel a spark. We're going to put it like that. And this person is very obviously going to feel an attraction to you. Okay? Here's the thing. The signs that this relationship is important is that you could feel your life expanding around them, or the possibility of your life expanding around them. Like, you could even imagine yourself running a business, relocating, visiting places, exploring new environments together. Like, you feel like your life could be beginning in a whole new way, in a good way. You could actually also meet them when you are going in the flow of your own life and expanding in a direction that you've always wanted to go into. And you could meet them there. That's the thing. And you could feel like you've been reaching for your next level self, and then you meet this soulmate and you're like, holy shit. Like, if I didn't actually grow in this direction, I would have never met this person. And it just feels like that's like a sense of destiny, isn't it? It's like, when you learn a new skill, or you go in a new environment that you've always wanted to go into, or you develop your life or expand your life in a direction that makes you feel alive, right? And then you meet this person, it's like, and they've been in that environment for a while, and you just kind of thank your lucky stars, or pinch yourself that you actually followed your dream in that direction, because you would have never met this person otherwise. Or it can be that way from their side as well, right? There's a sense that if neither one of your lives would have gone in the direction that it did, the circumstances of your life, this is literally true of any relationship, but you know how it is when it's a destined person. You're like, oh my God, if I didn't relocate here. But that's literally everyone you meet in a new location. But when it's a soulmate, you know it means so much more, right? There's like this sense of like, oh, if this circumstance and that circumstance hadn't happened, we would never be aligned to one another in this particular way. Like, there's just something different about it. And you can really see your life balancing out and harmonizing. Also, to be honest, this person, even though they could be a very direct person, a very sharp person, and possibly a multilingual person, very analytical person, they never take cheap shots at you. So even if they're like the famous person in the room, they always treat you like an important person too, by the way. They're very polite. They're very, very polite, very intellectual, very intelligent, by the way. Possibly surprisingly intelligent, because they are hot with that death card. They're someone who's very sexy, like... All right, let's look at their traits, okay? So we're going to see possibly some locations, initials, and physical qualities. I'm going to draw them here, but I'm going to flip them over like off camera, because it's going to be a hot mess express, okay? So... okay, some initials. The Thriller from Manila. Okay, and give us some physical traits. All right, I'm gonna flip these and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So you might want to pause this and look at it yourself. We've got a lot of places in the United States here. Okay, so the thing is with the locations, this can be their name for some of you, or their first name, last name, the meaning of their name. These can be locations where they lived or their ancestry, okay? Now, here's the thing. When I was flipping over a lot of these, what I noticed is there were a lot of descriptions of feet and eyes specifically. So you're gonna notice, they're gonna have very noticeable eyes to you, and something about their feet, I suppose, okay? Youthful face, almond eyes, narrow chest, close set eyes, intense gaze, soft gaze. There was sleepy eyes. They also have, there's a wide array of hair colors here as well, by the way. Auburn hair, silver hair, you know, black hair. So you're going to notice their hands, you're going to notice their feet, and you're going to notice their eyes, and something about their chest specifically. So their body shape. Okay. This person is their eyes and their body is very noticeable to you in some specific way. Okay, some of these are clashing. Y'all have different soulmates, so that kind of does make sense. If you meet them when they have silver hair, then their hair could have been auburn, black, or something, obviously, auburn or black when they were younger, okay? Yeah, so their eyes are really intense for you. You're going to notice how they look. This person could also have a very pleasing to you smile, or like a very serious smile to you, like you notice it. All right, we're going to get some more cards real quick. Tell me just a little bit more about their traits. Okay, I don't mind taking runners with these because this person could be a wealthy person or feel like good luck to you. Let's see, anything else? Okay, whoops, this ran over there. This person could be older than you, or dealings with an older relative could be important in this dynamic. Okay. This person can be very, very family oriented. Okay. This could be a shrewd person, by the way, especially in manners of business. That's what they say. But foxes are also very mate oriented. We're going to say they're family oriented, mate oriented. So this person can be very monogamous, loyal, mate-oriented, family-oriented. This person could represent wealth or luck. Now, also look on the letters here, because this could be indicating their name initials or meanings of their name, by the way. You could meet in July. They could be born in July, or you could be born in July. Crib, the beginning of a birth of some sort. Children or a new beginning, okay? There could also be a sense of innocence here. You could meet them in an environment where people are gossiping and talking a lot, or where like there's a sense of community and people have known each other for a very long time. A chain of events will affect your life. You could also meet them in a way that feels particularly karmic or destined. Okay, someone's leaving your life. You can meet them when someone leaves your life. This person could have a very regal vibe, by the way. Okay, very much so. Great warrior. That's a very family-oriented person. You can meet this person when you're leaping in a new direction. There could be an age gap here. This person could be older, or again, it could be about, they could have an older relative, like a father figure around, okay? Or someone who's influencing them. So I'm going to pause this and clean it up, and I'll be right back. Now we're going to see where and how the two of you might meet. Where and how might these two meet? 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 Okay, you might meet them, or they might meet you after the ending of a different contract, whether that's marital or getting out of a business deal, or after you get out of a court case and it's finalized. Some of you could also meet them through their work. For example, if they're a lawyer or they are working with intense and important paperwork. Okay, or how might they meet? I guess you could meet them at the police department. But you could meet them in a place where you go to get your peace of mind back after the week has drained the shit out of you, okay? So you could go somewhere where you could meet this person somewhere where you go to put balance back into your mental and emotional life, or balance to your career life, paperwork life, or something like that. But let's look. Where and how might these two meet? Obviously, could also possibly meet at work, okay? Where could these two meet? Where could these two meet? Where could these two meet? I'm strongly getting a place where friendly people go, where you feel a sense of like community or friendship, but it's a place where you would go to overcome heartbreak, grief, loss, anxiety, stress. So it's a place that you associate with happiness. Okay, so say you're the type of person who works with paperwork all week, or you deal with cases that are very challenging for you. Those of you who like work in the law or caseworker or something like that, and you see a lot of stuff all week, upsetting shit all week. It's where you go to take a load off of that stuff, okay? Where and how you might meet also could be a place where it's natural in your community or in your culture to meet a spouse, okay? and even where kids are welcome. Okay, for some of you, it could be like a family-friendly or a family-centered kind of environment. You could meet this person at a reunion, at a wedding, when you go back to your hometown and visit, or when you visit at somebody like your best friend's hometown, or through your friend's community, or at a reunion that you go as a guest to somebody else's reunion, you feel me? You could meet this person at a support group, or at a group where you go to blow off steam, to be honest with you, where you're going to be with people in a lighthearted and more friendly way. So also, like, I don't know why, if you're someone who likes to be in a book club or like a movie club, do movie clubs exist? Like where you go on outings to go watch movies. I don't know why that's coming up, especially old movies that are linked to like nostalgia or something. The roller skating rink just came through. Girl, I don't know. So something that you're doing that brings up a sense of innocence, purity, and happiness, which is a direct opposition to maybe some of the other stresses that you either have currently in your life when you meet your soulmate, or that you've had in the past, and you're going to just be happy and be innocent and be free. Okay? So that's where you might meet your soulmate. All right. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I would love to know how this reading resonated for you. Have you met this person already? Okay? Or do you think you might know who they are? I'm going to hop into the extended, and we're going to see how this relationship is going to begin, the attraction and the chemistry. This is 18 plus reading, okay? Because there's going to be imagery and talk of adult themes, all right? So if you're sensitive to that stuff or you're underage, it's not for you. Those of you who want a personal, feel free to book me. The info's in the description box. If this is where we leave it, I look forward to connecting to you very soon. Group 2, I'll see you in the next one. 3, welcome into your reading. We're going to see how you're going to recognize your soulmate. And those of you who feel that you've already met a soulmate, this could be the confirmation that you need, okay? Welcome into your reading. The first thing that we're going to tap into is what stands out about your soulmate, which you will notice immediately. What stands out about Group 3's soulmate that they will notice immediately? What stands out about Group 3's soulmate? This person could be seeming dreamy or intuitive, a little bit ethereal. You get the sense that this person feels like kind of like an answered prayer, I suppose, with that key that unlocks the heart. And the funny thing about this person, they could seem intuitive, they could seem perceptive, they could seem ethereal, they could seem dreamy. It's funny, but this person also feels stable, okay? This person has an otherworldly energy, but they don't feel lightweight, okay? This person does not feel lightweight. This person feels grounded or connected to themselves as well. And this person could just feel like a wish fulfillment to you, honestly. What stands out about Group 3's soulmate? What stands out about Group 3's soulmate? Those of you who feel drawn to me during the course of this reading, feel free to book me. Info in the description. What stands out about this person? Well, the thing is, you're going to find them really very, very attractive. And this person does have an open heart. They have a warm heart. They seem like a loving, kind person. They can also have a really funny sense of humor, or a distinctive way of laughing. All right. This person could seem like, despite being a little bit ethereal, a little bit maybe regal, a little bit with their own kind of vibe, and they also have a spicy sense of humor. Or like I don't know, just like a witty banter or something, or like they take a little bit of risks, communication risks, or they could have some unusual perspectives perhaps. But you are going to find them very attractive, and they are super charismatic, by the way. They also have a sweetening way with other people. People are tender towards this person. They're nice towards this other person. But at the same time, there's something about this person's energy which represents a radical difference in thinking and a radical freshness in terms of emotional potential for you. Okay. So this person, when you meet this person, it could come out of nowhere, and it could really clarify like, oh shit, like I really like this person. Okay. It could cut through your own haze or your own fog if you've been unattracted to people for a while and you're not really sure what you're looking for. When you see this person, it like cuts through that fog, and you see this person clearly. You see their big heart. You see that they're sweet. You see that people have a soft reaction to them. You also see that they're a little unconventional, or maybe say a little funny stuff here and there. And they are very magnetic as well. Okay. How you'll feel around this person. How will group 3 feel around their soulmate? How will they feel around their soulmate? How will they feel around their soulmate? There's fulfillment, there's happiness, there's a sense of expansion, there's a sense of emotional attraction, as well as physical attraction. You're going to find this person to be very beautiful, very attractive, very emotionally compelling, somebody that you could imagine yourself being very happy with. You could also imagine traveling with this person, or your life expanding with this person. There's honestly like a wish fulfillment kind of vibe going on here. Some of you may have gone through things that were really freaking disappointing, okay? You could have known emotional disappointments or just sadness and aggravation in the past. You could even have like former partners monitoring your social media, or just putting nonsense in your inbox, and you're just like freaking over it, or just like not connecting with people that inspire you. And then you meet your soulmate person, and the way you feel around them is just like, oh shit. Wait a minute, like, are my ships coming in? Like, I'm really happy around this person. I feel fulfilled around this person. This person is sweet. They're kind. You feel very emotionally drawn to this person, and you find them attractive, as I said. You could find yourself thinking about them a lot, though, like a lot, or even trying to search them up on social media, like to figure out more like about their personal mystery. Let's see what makes this connection different. What makes this connection different? What makes this connection different? Isn't that interesting? What makes this connection different? There's a freaking spark here, okay? Wish fulfillment, happiness, emotional fulfillment, wanting to go on dates. You might like relocate a super romantic side of yourself, you know, like that maybe went dormant for a while. You find yourself thinking about the events that you could take this person to, the dates that you could go on, feeling really happy around them. Like this person, you could almost get drunk off of their aura, okay? This person is cool. So this person is very physically attractive to you, very luscious, okay? Those of you who date feminines, you're gonna really like her hair and her shape and her eyes, and just like every aspect of her physical appearance is very decadent and very rich and alluring. Those of you who date masculines, you're going to like that he is intuitive and he has emotional intelligence, as well as a very sharp and analytical mind. Now, this person is someone who is intellectual. They are sharp. They have an irreverent sense of humor. They might have a very distinctive kind of laugh. This person is someone who is intelligent. They can match you intellectually, and they can even expand you emotionally. For those of you who have felt like there's a little dust on your heart, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, okay, like I feel like I'm ready to love again, you know what I mean? I tried to do this reading one other time, and you know, this person was represented by Queen of Cups and Ace of Cups, and so that's part of the reason why I'm really doubling down on this. This person represents like a new beginning in love, and a lot of emotional potential here, like a very, very much happiness. And yeah, and just wanting to rush towards each other, communicate, be in each other's energy, because it's mental and emotional, okay? She's very smart. She's just very smart, very compelling. She's seen some shit and she knows how to articulate it. She's a really cool person for those of you who date feminines. And if it's a masculine, just apply it there, or, you know, just a really, really cool individual that makes you feel like your cup is overflowing finally, you know, like life is actually lining up here. All right, signs that this relationship is actually important. Signs that this relationship is important. Oh, no. Give me 4 cards. Signs that this relationship is important. Signs that this relationship is important. You'll get intuitive nudges, right? You're just going to enjoy the simple things around this person. Some of you have before you meet this person, will experience like some grief here or some sadness, and your heart feels like it's mending when you're around this person. You feel like when you talk to this person that you're talking to a really old friend or a confidant or someone that you always want to talk to. You want them to be part of your ritual. You know, you want to talk to them in the morning and at night. Like first thing when you wake up and you're having your coffee, you want to hear from them, and before you go to bed, right? Other signs that this relationship is important, those of you who are actually spiritual practitioners and go to spiritual centers, or religious practitioners and go to religious places, this person, you can meet them in your spiritual center, or within your tradition, or within your community, or within the framework that gives your life a specific type of structure. Okay, and this person like fits into that with you. Okay, you feel like there's an intuitive and spiritual pull here, as well as a friendly one. Signs that this relationship is important. Signs that this relationship is important. Well, this person is giving spouse wish fulfillment here, by the way. Some of you are going to meet this person after you go through disappointment, which we already said before, right? And you may have actually just kind of like pulled your energy back from people and situations, and you've gone hermit mode, and you've gone inside, and you're reading the book of your life, and you're learning from your experiences, or you're learning systems of information just for your own enrichment, kind of, to be honest with you. But also potentially to let go of previous dynamics that just were not fulfilling, because you don't want to bring that shit into your next chapter, right? And this relationship seems important to you because when you meet this Empress type, this Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords type, the thing is, like, you've done a lot of internal work, You could have corrected certain patterns that were operating through your financial life, for example, like job losses, or under earning, or being in dynamics with people and situations that make you feel left out in the cold. And you could have been healing and recovering from just significant interpersonal, situational, or relational deprivation and sadness. And before you meet this person, you have finally like walked away and freed yourself from it, painful patterns, and you have established your boundaries, which are flexible enough to let the right people in, but you're just simply not desperate for just any company or just anything. You know what I mean? You've elevated within your standards quite a lot by the time you meet this Empress person. Like, you're also on the same level, okay? And so you don't feel like you're settling, you don't feel like you're compromising, you don't feel like you're over-functioning, and you don't feel like you're over-giving. You feel like the parts of you that you worked so hard to educate and to up-level and to become who you want to be, all of that's welcome here. You're not taking an L. No big deal or anything. That's like so significant, you guys. You put in so much freaking work, and then you didn't even realize that you were going to meet this amazing person, and you can bring your fullness to this person, and that's beautiful. So we're also going to look at this person's specific traits. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at their physical traits and locations where they may have lived, been born in, or maybe that are part of their heritage or background or whatever, and some initials. So let's start with the initials. Let's start with their physical traits. And I can't take all of them in the world because, oh my God, it takes like 700 years to flip them over. And cities, countries, locations, whatsoever. The thing is with the locations, this can also be their first name or their last name, okay? All right, I'm gonna flip these over, be right back. All right, let's see here. You can pause this or do a screen capture if you like. All right, so this person could have a serious expression, a defined waist. Those of you who are into tall people, good news. They could be average height to very tall. Those of you who like tattoos, they could have tattoos, muscular build, defined calves. This person has a really defined kind of body, I would say. Okay, either a muscular or curvaceous or like just shapely. This person's a shapely individual, I would say. Okay. We have brown hair as well, sharp features, warm undertone. Okay. In terms of places, we have Denmark, South Africa, Lima, Casablanca, Ireland, Brazil, Nashville. Okay, just go ahead and pause this and have a look for yourself. They could have lived those places, or you could meet them there, or they could have the heritage of those places. Okay, now let us get some more cards and see some other traits, anything that is relevant. The month of March. Also, I intend that these cards will have letters that could be in their name as well, or meanings in their name. Okay. Man, dealings with a man. Okay. Heart, love, deep affection, and caring. That really goes with this reading. Eagle. So their name could mean eagle, or they could just be someone who triumphs over adversity. Let's see here. Okay. Ram. Could be an Aries or a Taurus. You can't even see that, can you? Firecracker, goldfish. Increase in material wealth, excitement, ram, stubborn person. One more. Oof, that's two more. We're going to take them anyway. Skull again. They could wear skull jewelry. Up, target again. Okay, you can feel this person's a straight shooter and a sharp person. Very goal-oriented, always hits their target. Okay. All right, so now we are going to see where and how you two might meet. I got to pause again because I got to clean this mess up. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's see how you two might meet, or where, or like what's relevant. All right, let's have a look here. Where or how might these two meet? Where or how might these two meet? Where or how might these two meet? You can meet at the bank. You might meet in an environment where you kind of have to like play it cool or where you have to be respectful. Okay, you can meet somewhere where kids are involved, where maybe if you're parents, where you take your kids to school, or a family friendly environment. Okay, or actually a place where you have to hide your innocence and you have to be more mature and strategically behaved. You know what I'm saying? Where there's strategery afoot. That is not a word. Don't use that. Okay. Where and how might these two meet? Where and how might these two meet? You could also actually get an introduction through somebody who maybe didn't expect the two of you to like each other. I'm just going to be honest. Okay. Where and how might these two meet? School. Where and how might these two meet? Where and how might... Oh, okay. Some of you could actually meet in a place which is really competitive, like while you're going after a degree or some sort of certification of some sort. You could also meet in a place where you go for sports or athletics or places to express yourself. Yo, don't get mad at me. There are so many different scenarios running through my head, okay? So like for some of you, it could be school. It could be a spiritual center though too, actually. Okay? And it could be like that, despite the fact that it's a place where you go to develop yourself either mentally, like intellectually, spiritually, or in your education, or like whatever. I'm fumbling for my words a little bit. Like even if there's like a spiritual edge to it, people in that environment could still have their own pride, and there could be like people trying to get their way a little bit, you know. People could be fighting over you in this environment, or fighting over your significant person here. But it could also be a place where you go to try to see things in a different way, or decompress from the week that you've had. Like, so you go there when you need to let go. For some of you, it really could be a place where you are doing physical inversions, like a gym or an athletic center of some sort, where you're like upside down, or you're training in some particular way, or you're seeing the world in a slightly different way. There are a lot of different scenarios, okay? You could also meet them while you're traveling, exploring, or getting to know foreigners. Okay. And I think you're gonna find them very attractive, but the part that I'm seeing now, because we have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck, where and how you might meet, you actually might start meeting them when you're coming out of that kind of previous cycle of like deprivation, but you're going to start feeling yourself and putting yourself out there more, and you're expanding your world and your horizons. And you could meet this person online, or you could become aware of their profile in some particular way. Yeah, you're going to be feeling very attracted to them and quite bold, in fact. Okay, so you can meet them in an environment where it's like you're supposed to behave in a specific way, but you could just see each other and just click. So even like maybe a dance class or a self-development kind of environment, a place where people are being active, a place where people are moving around, a place where maybe even people are competing for the hottest person in there, you know, or the professor's approval, you know. So there's quite a number of scenarios, but you'd be developing yourself in some particular way and maybe not trying to come on too strong, because maybe the environment doesn't really call for that, because maybe it's like a class or like a group setting, you know what I mean? But I think you're going to find this person very electrifying, and you're going to be feeling yourself as well, okay? Yeah. I think you just see this person as worth shooting your shot towards. Like, this person just has a really great vibe. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into the extended now, and we're going to see how this relationship is going to begin. And we're going to look at the attraction and the chemistry, how this person shows love, and so much more. Now that's 18 plus, and there's going to be uncensored imagery as well as possibly like 18 plus talk. So don't be looking at that if you're sensitive and you're underage, because it ain't for you. I would love to know how this reading resonated. Those of you who want a personal, book me. I'd love to read for you. I will see you in the next one, group 3.